Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna talk about the differences between regular drones and FPV drones. And because I have the Mavic 4 Pro and I also own the DJI Avata 2, these are the two drones I'm going to put up against each other. On top of that, we're going to find out what type of drone is right for you as well if you are looking into getting a drone, or maybe you already have a drone and you're looking into getting one or the other. Now, also something to keep in mind here is that the Mavic 4 Pro is a very newly released drone. It's very high end, it's expensive, so obviously it's going to have areas where it's superior to the DJI Avata 2. But that doesn't mean the DJI Avata 2 doesn't have its own strengths. So that is the main purpose of today's video. But before we start, as always, if you're new to this channel, my name is Niclas, and I would also highly appreciate it if you could smash the like and subscribe button before we start. Alright, so let's start off with the core differences between these two drones. So with the DJI Avata 2, which is an FPV drone, you put on goggles when you fly, and through these goggles you see exactly what the drone sees when you're flying. So it's a much more immersive experience. You're in the situation, you could say. It's more adrenaline, it's about speed. Now with a regular drone like the Mavic 4 Pro on the other hand, it's a more of a standard drone that's built around smooth cinematic shots, usually slower movements. But both drones can still overlap in a way. So with a classical drone like the Mavic series or a mini drone, it's not like you have to fly slow with these drones. They all have the ability to fly really fast. And the same with the DJI Avata 2. The DJI Avata 2 can go slow and capture slow, steady cinematic shots as well. You don't always have to fly really fast with your FPV drone. So if both of these drones can do exactly the same things, what is the actual difference? So the DJI Avata 2 is mainly built for high speed and immersive shots. So when you turn with the DJI Avata 2, the gimbal turns with the drone, compared to a regular drone like the Mavic 4 Pro, where it's going to keep the horizon steady when you turn it. But with the Mavic 4 Pro though, you can actually twist the gimbal while turning to create the same kind of feeling, because a new feature that was introduced to the Mavic 4 Pro was the infinity gimbal that lets you rotate the gimbal as well. This is completely new though, so you can kind of replicate the same feeling. But where these two drones really differ is what you can do with them. So for example, the DJI Avata 2 can do stuff that the Mavic 4 Pro cannot do. I'm specifically talking about diving waterfalls. I have used this drone for extreme sports, for example, for work. With an FPV drone, you can do fast maneuvers, you can do fast turns, you can loop with it like backflips, you can roll with it in the air. This is stuff that you cannot do with the Mavic 4 Pro. The Mavic 4 Pro, on the other hand, is what I like to call more of a storytelling device. It's way slower in the air, it's more smooth, it's steady. It's better to tell stories, you know, shoot cinematic shots, establishing scenes, showing off big landscapes and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean it cannot give you an immersive experience as well. You just have to fly fast, but you're never gonna get the same amount of immersiveness or control in the air that you do get with the DJI Avata 2. And the same with the DJI Avata 2, you won't get the same storytelling capabilities that you have on the Mavic 4 Pro. Now with the Mavic 4 Pro, it also has a lot of features and stuff that the Avata 2 lacks. You have sensors all around it, so if you fly in something called cine mode, fly super slow, it's very hard to crash it. I would say it's almost impossible considering all the sensors you have on this drone. It's very easy to fly it as well compared to the DJI Avata 2, which takes much more skill and a much more practice to nail down. Now also with the DJI Avata 2, you have the option to use something they introduced with the DJI Avata 2, which is a motion controller. This will help you out, make it much easier to fly the DJI Avata 2. You can actually fly in something called normal mode or sports mode on the DJI Avata 2 as well. You can fly and get really stable shots. At the same time, it's very easy to keep the drone level and keep it steady with this controller. So the motion controller is very beginner friendly. However, you won't get those cool looking dive shots, and you will not get full control over your DJI Avata 2 in the air unless you go for a FPV controller. If you go with a controller, you are gonna unlock the full potential, and this is called flying in manual mode. This is where it gets fun, but keep in mind also that if you want to go full manual, you have to practice in a simulator before you do. Otherwise, it's very likely that you will just crash your drone as soon as you take off. But because the DJI Avata 2 have the motion controller, it's actually extremely beginner friendly, and it's a really fun thing for a lot of people. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I know that a lot of people like the motion controller. I found the motion controller to be fun for like 10 minutes. Alright, so for you to get a better understanding what I'm actually talking about, I'm gonna show you some side-by-side shots. So as you can see here, when I'm flying after the subject here with my Avata 2, this is literally impossible to use a regular drone for these types of shots. However, we did use the Mavic 3 as well for this shot, and I still think it looks good. It's just different. So, but with the shot with the Mavic, you get a much bigger overview, letting the viewer know where we actually are, showing off the big landscape, what's going on. That's what I mean by it's a better storytelling device. You kind of get a better understanding of it like that. But we can still bring speed and energy into the scene with the Mavic. You just don't get those immersive, fast-turning shots. So that is what I really mean by these drones overlapping. So let me tell you what you're actually paying for if you get the Mavic 4 Pro over the DJI Avata 2 and why you might want to consider getting this drone. So with the Mavic 4 Pro, you get the infinity gimbal where you can rotate the gimbal itself. You can also tilt the gimbal straight up for more creative shots. On top of that, not only do you get a wide angle lens, you also get a 70mm lens, and you also get a 168mm lens, letting you catch close-ups as well. You do not get that with the DJI Avata 2. Battery life, 45-50 minutes versus 15 to 20 minutes max. Image quality, the Mavic 4 Pro can shoot in 6K, it has a bigger sensor, it's better in low light, it's extremely good in strong wind, versus the DJI Avata 2, it's not that great in strong wind. It's also packed with intelligent flight modes like active track, cruise control, waypoints, hyperlapse. So if you want to track something or you want to put yourself into the shot, you can do that with this drone. Now on top of that, it's also a very high-end professional photography drone as well to take photos. So that is kind of what you're paying for with this drone. Alright, so where does that leave the DJI Avata 2? Well, the DJI Avata 2 does have its own strengths. Personally, I'd say that the DJI Avata 2 is a much more fun flying experience. You get that adrenaline going, you know, because you see everything through the goggles. It's also what I showed you earlier, the shots, you get to dive, you get to mountain surf, you get to do shots that the regular drone simply cannot do. So that's the first thing. It's a little more fun, in my opinion, to fly an FPV versus a regular drone. Secondly, the DJI Avata 2 is much lighter than the Mavic 4 Pro, which makes it much more portable. You don't have to deal with the same hassle of the same regulations that you need to deal with on the Mavic 4 Pro. And on top of that, it's also much cheaper. Even though this is a much more expensive drone than the DJI Avata 2, they are both still capable of high-end scenic shots. I have had amazing shots coming out of this Avata 2, and I've had outstanding shots coming out of the Mavic 4 Pro. So it's not like you can't get amazing shots from the DJI Avata 2. So this is a common strength. So yes, the Mavic 4 Pro does shoot in 6K with a bigger sensor, but both these drones shoot in D-Log-M and 10-bit, which gives you the option to do color grading and get an amazing results out of both of these drones. And this is the key to getting truly cinematic footage. So you really can't go wrong with either in that sense. But it all comes down to color grading when it comes to stuff like that to get a really nice looking shot. Alright, so the last section, which drone is right for you? If you're kind of the person who likes immersive shots, high speed, you want full control in the air, you want to capture action sports, you want to dive waterfalls, and you want to have a fun, thrilling experience getting your heart beating while still capturing cinematic shots, the DJI Avata 2 is the right decision for you, or FPV in general. But if you want something slow, or you're into storytelling, filmmaking, getting that cinematic feel, and you want the ability to take professional photography, and you want these intelligent flight modes that lets you put yourself into the frame and film yourself on top of that, then the Mavic 4 Pro or a regular drone like the Mavic 4 Pro is definitely the way to go. But for me, well, I'm a greedy bastard, so I can't live without one or the other. I need both. In the next video, I'm gonna do a deep dive and a long-term review of the DJI Avata 2. So if you want more drone content, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button before you head off. That would also be highly appreciated. Take care, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Fly safe.